Welcome back, Susie.
Thank you.
And welcome back also your...
Toadied is there. Ditty, unfortunately, you need 2 T's. That was there for 5, dirty for 5, and one more 7 is ideated, to form an idea of or conceive.
All right. Tapioca.
Tapioca, very nice.
No.
Capitol with a small c, capital, a building assembly in the US. Caps.
A faucet, indeed, yeah.
It comes from a verb, French verb meaning to bore a hole in, because it was once a tap on a cask of alcohol. A keg.
Okay.
So
Faucet. She knows.
You can't, unfortunately, spell stony with the E. Are in the dictionary. They're Eurasian plants of the mint family with spikes of showy purple flowers. Ebonies, the trees.
Yeah.
And boneset, which is another plant called comfrey in English, and it was used for plasters on broken bones.
Well done. Thank
Yes, it is an archaic term for a romance in the days of chivalry, etc. Very good.
What about...
You can do unmature, as in unmature cheese. So unmatured is the same sort of thing. So that will give you an 8. Brilliant. 7 otherwise.
Thank you.
Using the Z, that's a nice 7. And jailers use this term now. It's from the 1960s.
Yeah.
Earliest use found in Women's Wear Daily.
Yeah.
And it's a woman's garment similar to a dress, but with a divided skirt. So I think it's what we would call a play suit today.
For playing in?
Yes. And weapon, your gun, for example. Yeah, so that would be absolutely fine.
What have you got for us?
I thought I'd choose a happy word today, Nick, because there's been little cause for celebration. This year, it's been a pretty horrible year, but when the time comes to raise a glass to happier times, many of us will utter the traditional toast, which is cheers. And so I thought the word, it's attached to celebrations and friendships. You know, you might cheer from the sidelines during a game of football, or you just cheer someone up and lift their spirits if they're feeling sad. But its past wasn't all about joy and comfort. Sometimes it embraced quite bleak of cheer. Began really in ancient times with the Latin cara, meaning head, and the Greek cara with a K, meaning head or face. And that's pretty much as we knew it. So it travelled through French, as so many classical words did, and from there into English as cheer. And it meant very definitely someone's facial expression. So it was basically their soul as it was reflected on their face. And this was any inner feeling. So it wasn't, as I say, just happiness. You could be very melancholy, definitely linger on the sad side. So in the 15th century reworking of the story of King Arthur, Sir Lancelot is described as departing with a heavy cheer, having a sad and sorry cheer, or even a wailing and lamentable one. And it wasn't until another couple of centuries that it began to kind of take on a happier note, and then it was applied to anything that gladdened the face, really. It made you smile. To cheer someone on was to shout words of encouragement, and again, to sort of lift the spirits. And then we had 3 cheers, which is recorded quite late on, actually, in sort of 19th century, but still, it was to celebrate a triumph or achievement. And your cheer was your face for a very long time, right up until the 20th century. And I've said before that what cheer, if you were asking someone, how are you, how is your face, how are your spirits, that morphed into watcher later down the line, ancient greeting. And finally, to utter cheers, to say thank you, if someone does something for you, you say cheers, mate, or whatever, and you wish them good cheer upon parting. It's very much the same idea. And then when you toast somebody and you wish them good health, you were doing very much that same thing. You were essentially saying, may there be a smile on your face, which takes us all the way back to that ancient Latin and Greek.
Oh, perfect, Susie.
You are right, as so often, Sam, yes. It is in Argile, I think it's pronounced, chiefly in Syria and neighbouring. It's the same as a nargile, which is an oriental tobacco pipe with a long tube drawing the smoke through the water. So it's a hookah, basically. Very good. And have fanciers. Yeah. The word that you gleefully shouted out on your first countdown, Nick, conifers for 8.
Oh, yeah.
103.
What about this fella?